So we are on this evening, and so far the going is good. And we'll take our tutorial book and we'll take our instructional manual and we'll place the information, we'll place the problem on the board. So it is for everyone to join as quickly as possible. And I know that in a few seconds. I think that the individuals from YouTube are on already. You know, all I need to do is go and check. So I monitor YouTube from there. I'm not going to attempt to monitor TikTok. Yes. Looks a little bit blurred. Alright, so good evening everyone. I can see individuals joining, you know, but I don't see the number increasing as yet, but we know that we'll see that in a few seconds, you know, just as I spoke, that we see that. So good evening to everyone. Welcome. Thank you for joining. And of course, we have to get serious concerning what we do in case of emergency. So I'll give you a few seconds to get on. In the meantime, what I'm going to do, because I think that I have maybe 5 minutes left, although let me check. All right. So we have about, we have more than 5 minutes left. So we'll take the few minutes that we have up to 6 p.m. And what will we do with that time? Something we are going to go to tutorial 1. You don't have to worry about it because eventually we get to this when it's time for us to practice. So I'm going to be going into the factorization by grouping that we should have done already. And we'll start to do some of those problems. Alright, so let's go. So we have a squared minus ab minus AD minus AC plus BC. So, yes, I'm going to be probably solving about 3 or so. Class has not begun as yet. So, we are just shuffling around until, you know, a few minutes when it's about 6 p.m. So, what do? We take the first 2 and do our regular factorization because we're factorizing my grouping. That's what we are doing. So we're going to factorize these 2. So we say what? What is common in a squared and ab? A squared, ab, a is common. And of course, a into a squared is a. And here, the a will cancel the a and we have b left. Then we go over to the second pair. Now when we go over to the second pair, we take the same sign that begins the second pair. Because without a sign, then yes, without a sign, we will be saying that we are multiplying, which is not what we are really doing. We are really factorizing. And the expression must be able to be regenerated in its original form. So right here, we have to have this same sign that begins the second pair, which is a negative sign. So there's your negative sign. And then in AC and BC, the C is common. So we'll put that C there. The C is common. And then we say C into AC. The C will cancel with the C and the A will remain. And of course, we put, let us erroneously put the positive sign there. Right. Now, if we put a positive sign here, and we try to regenerate the original expression, it will be negative times positive, it will give us negative. So we know that it is wrong from that perspective. But it shouldn't have to get to this point for us to realize that we are wrong. We should see that if we are dividing, we have to give consideration to the sign also when we are dividing. So we'll say negative into positive is negative, and of course the C's will cancel and the B will remain. Now students, if we are factorizing by grouping, the contents of both brackets must be the same, but we should not force them to be the same. Right, the contents of both brackets should be the same, but we cannot force them to be the same. They have to be the same by following the correct procedure. They have to be the same by us doing the right thing. And when we are through, what do? We see that we have a common factor of A minus B. See? A common factor of A minus B. So we have A minus B is our common factor, and the other factor is A minus C. So we're going to have an A minus C right there. Beautiful. So, as I promised, before class begins, I will do 3. Oh, we'll only have time for 2, but let us go nonetheless. I'm going to look some far distance away for another one. Three PQ plus Q, that's horrible, plus 6P plus 2, all pluses, that's nice. So we will not have to worry about the fractions, not the fractions, we don't have to worry about the signs there, because all the signs are positive, so we'll just sail through using only positive numbers. Let's go. Now what we have here, only thing that we see that is common is the Q. Can you see that the Q is common? Yes, the Q is common. And then the Q will cancel the Q and we'll have what? 3P. But we need to divide this Q into this one. And anything divided by itself is 1. So Q into Q is 1. Or if we say Q divided by Q is 1 nonetheless. Then of course, we cannot just put the common factor here. The common factor is 2. We cannot put it there. Because if we put the common factor there, we will be saying that this is multiplied by 2 and is multiplied by this also. So that would be incorrect. So what we need to do is to place the sign of the second pair first. It is a plus sign. This is the second pair. What is common in 6P and 2? Yes, 2 will be able to go into both 6P and 2. 2 into 6 is 3. Nothing to cancel the P, it goes back. And then what? 2 into 2 is 1. And what do we say? Apart from nothing. Right, what do we say? The common factor, as we can see, 3p plus 1 is 3p plus 1. That's the common factor. And then the other factor is q plus 2. Q plus 2. One more. I'm going to do some more, yes. I'm going to do the ones from the instructional manuals so that you can have a lot of fun. So we have 6m plus 4n. I should put one with a negative sign. Let me see if I can find one. So we have positive, negative, or we should put one that has a what? 2 positives, then 2 negatives. I'm going to look for one like that. One that has 2 positives, then 2 negatives. If I can find one like that, then we will have a joyous day. No! I'm looking in your tutorial, students. Yeah! Alright, so yes, I found one with 2 positives followed by 2 negatives. So we have 6AP plus 15A minus 4P minus 10. So what do we say? What is common? Of course, common in 6 and 15, we have 3. Then we have common in AP and 15A, the A is also common. So that's your common factor. 3 into 6 will be 2. A will cancel A, and then the P returns. Then 3 into 15 is 5. Then the A will cancel A. That's it. And what should we do next? We have to begin with the sign that begins the second pair. And the sign that begins the second pair is a negative sign. Sure it is. A negative sign, no difficulty. Yeah. Here we go again. Yeah, so let's continue. What do we say? We say what's common in 4p and 10. So what's common in 4p and 10? That's just 2 alone. 2 is common. 2 into 4 is 2. Nothing to cancel the p, goes back. Of course, negative into negative is positive. And 2 into 10 is 5. And there we have it. The common factor is 2p plus 5. And in the other pair of brackets, we have 3a minus 2. Alright. So that's our preliminary report, right? That we're trying to get done before class begins. Now, students, there are many things that I have to say to you apart from the instruction that I have for this. Yes, apart from the instruction that we have right here, I have a lot of things to say to you. Right. So there are some things that I'm saying that the students should do. You are not doing it. You are not interested. All right. So I think that if you are interested, you'll be interested in everything that is being done and everything that is in your favor. Now, what I'm going to say, because class is now about to begin, good evening to everyone. Healthy and hearty welcome to everyone. And of course, thank you for gracing me with your presence once more. Yes, the students have been paying attention to the other visuals. Pay attention to them. Right. Now, students, I'm going to give you an indication of what happened. Now, what happened in the last class is that TikTok restricted my viewing, so students could not see me. So it was not the internet, it was not anything from my side. TikTok sent me a report to say that I violated their community guideline, right? And I cannot say that I didn't, though, well, I'm not saying for or against, but you know that all I do in the evening is try to get students to learn mathematics, and that's all. Well, if that's a violation of their community guideline, then there's nothing else I can do. I'll probably continue to violate it. But I know what's happening, and believe me, those who are doing that, they are going to pay, and they are going to pay dearly. Because the day when they will want help or need help from Richard James Mathematics Resources, I will not be available. So the people think that they have this thing here forever. And because of that, they believe that they can do pretty much anything. And they think that they will not be called upon to show that they are capable of passing mathematics. They think that they will not be able to do or be required to do that. So they are not aware of the far-reaching consequences of their actions. And just a little synopsis about Richard James. I won 5 national mathematics competition for Cornwall. Yes. 4 as a student and 1 as a teacher. And my colleague who was on the mathematics team, Ainsworth Roach, he would have done the same because we were teaching there together. 5 national mathematics championship. I have A for abstract algebra. Yes, I have A for abstract algebra. And right in front of me, right over there, I have 20 plus mathematics books that I've written to help students. I also have over 5,000 animated audiovisuals also to help students. So when you come inside here and you do mysterious things and you are doing mischief and so on, and you are not hurting Richard James, because when I was in school, like when at age 18, I would have passed 4 levels of mathematics already. Your regular CXC, additional mathematics, your advanced level and your advanced level further mathematics. So before I attended university, I passed all those levels of mathematics. So don't try, you can't hurt me, students, or not say students, because the students are not doing that. It's some mischievous person coming inside here to do it. You can't hurt me, because I have it already. So just let the other students get something in their heads too. But students, you know, and I'm not going to make any excuse for you, because you know this link. And some people say, I don't have Google Meet. You don't have to have Google Meet. You just need to have the internet. So anytime anything goes wrong, you just go to Google Meet. When anything goes wrong, go to Google Meet. I might not get in there immediately, but I'm going to go there if I cannot continue the class there. And students, you will not have any excuse, because I will not be going round in a circle, and the examination is in the middle of May. The examination date is not going to change if we are not ready. So we have to move along. So as of today, I am not turning back. Now, a student sent me a message concerning the class. Students, you know that I could not possibly have the class last time around. Therefore, I couldn't have the recorded class. If I couldn't have the class, then I couldn't have a recorded class. Come on, man, just that simple one. It shouldn't be so mind-boggling to you. If I cannot present inside the classroom, it means that I will not have a recording of the class. Students, when they come on to audiovisual, don't worry about that. Just go to the TikTok page and look at the audiovisuals that I'm going to send. Concerning factorization, listen to me, students. Just do what I say, because I'm going to tell, and those parents who are calling in, I'm going to give them all of the information. 1, if I cannot continue on TikTok, your children know that I have a link where they can come in and see me personally. So they know that that is 1. 2, you cannot be hairy-fairy and not know what to do and cannot do, because what? So far, For indices, I need to look for that thing now. For the indices, I placed 20 problems, the solution of 20 problems. So I have 20 videos on TikTok for indices. And you know what is going to happen right after indices? Yeah, no, I'm not going to go to the intermediate. I'm going to go to factorization, students. The next 5 videos might go up tomorrow. I think that maybe when I go home and I look, maybe early in the morning tomorrow, the last 5 videos on indices. Then after that, I'm going to go to the factorization. I don't even know how many I have. Maybe I have close to 50 or even more than 50. Well, I'm sure that I have more than 50. Students, you were told to go to Richard James Mathematics Resources Facebook page. I don't know if anybody gone over there yet. But I'm going to say it and I'm going to do it. So it's when I put the information for you, I think that I'm going to put the link. I'm going to post the link for the Vimeo video for every topic that I'm doing. Because I have Vimeo videos for every topic that I'm doing. Every single one. And when you go and click on the Vimeo thing, you're going to see myriads of videos coming up. Yet still, I am addressing you 4 times per week, face to face. What more could you want? I spoke to one of my colleagues. She says 2 hours per week. She gives her CXC students 2 hours per week. 2 hours per week. And I'm here addressing you. And I'm here addressing you what? 4 times per week for 2 hours each time. Plus, you have videos in your TikTok. So you can go on TikTok and go on my page and watch the videos. In addition to that, I'm going to put up the Vimeo videos. Wow, whole ton load of videos for factorization in a minute. And you know, whether or not you are willing to go for it, whether or not you are willing to go, and I'm going to put it there. So at the end of the day, no one can say Richard James did not do this. Your granny ever tell you say, want it, can't get it, and get it, no want it? No, get it. Because you are supposed to go over to the Facebook page, Richard James Mathematics Resources, and like it, and I don't see you doing that. Because it's over there that I'm going to put the Vimeo link so that you can watch all of the videos on whatever topic. So you are never out of class. 24 hours mathematics class, that's what I'm talking about. So students, I'm going to give you a few seconds. Take a look at this. I'm going to give you the ones that we should have done on, I'm going to give you the ones that we should have done on Monday. And then quickly after that, we're going to move to other topics in factorization. Let's go. Students, pay attention to this and go to your instructional manual where you see quadratic expression. They are quadratic because they have 4 terms and you factorize them by grouping. So quad as in 4, and that's why it's quadratic. So there we are. And what I'm going to do, I'm looking out for your responses because we should have been long gone. So I'm going to put those on the board. Now students, when you get inside of the classroom and you are at a loss at certain things, I'm going to explain every single one of them. However, when you come into the class and you are at a loss as to something that I've posted on TikTok and you're at a loss because you did not watch it, then you know that's not going to go down well with me. The next one again, I'm going to put up the links. So what I'm going to do though, I'm not going to put them up yet. I have 5 more indices videos to put on TikTok. So after putting up those indices videos, I'm going to move merrily over to the factorization. And I'm sure that I have so many of them. I'll tell you before the class ends how many I have. Because I can just go over there and take a look at them. So yes, I can just go over there and look at them. So let's go through them. Now, we are going to do the same problems that we should have done in class. Yes. Right now. Every single one of them. Because you will have your instructional manuals. So some of you will have the instructional manuals. Some of you, of course, you don't know the female link as yet. I'm going to go for them. Yes, I'm going to go for them. And I'm going to place that on my Facebook page. Richard James Mathematics Resources. We have 2 of them. Richard James and Richard James Mathematics Resources. And I'm going to post the Vimeo link on Richard James Mathematics Resources. Students, you are not going to be short on information. You are not going to be short on instruction. You are not going to be short on resources. You are not going to be short on anything. So let me go to my old instructional manual and I'm going to be doing some problems on the board. Follow me carefully because, what, because of just because? Monday, what did we do? Now I remember. Let's do the factorization by grouping. Let's go. The first one is 15x squared. 15x squared. Yeah, 15x squared y plus 9xy plus 10x. The zeros must be closed, plus 6. So we'll factorize that. So let's go, students. You know what I'm going to ask first if I'm going to factorize that. What's common? What's the highest common factor? So let's see your responses. You're generally very keen, very sharp, always ready to supply your answer. So we have 15x squared y and we have 9xy. Look inside these two. What is the highest common factor that you can find for these two? Any answer yet? No? All right. Well, I will begin. Let's go. So we have 15 and the 9. What's common there? Yeah, I see the xy, thank you. I see the 15. 15 can go into 15 and 9. Maybe it's not such a bad thing that I asked. 3, yes. So to go into 15 and 9, the number that we go into 15 and going to 9 is 3. And the other part, we see common, we see x here, so x is common also, and we see the y is common. So that is 3xy. And then what do we do next? We are going to divide each of the terms by the highest common factor. Students, I hope that you're paying attention to detail, because sometimes you miss something that is blatantly on the board for you to see. So let's continue. 3 into 15 is 5. X into x squared is x. The y's will cancel. Then what do we say? 3 into 9 is 3. And of course the xy will cancel the xy, and that's all there is to it. Then the next one is what? Plus 10x plus 6. So we're going to use the plus sign right there. Then what do we say? We say what's common in 10x and 6? What's common in 10x and 6? 2 is common. Now some students will be tempted to put 2x. Yeah, that's a common mistake, and it's not like anything horrendous. Beautiful. Yeah, but recognize that the x is here in the 10x, but it is not present in the 6. So the x is not common, as a matter of fact, because it's not present in both. So we say 2 into 10 is 5, and nothing to cancel the x, it goes back. And then of course, positive into positive is positive, and 2 into 6 is 3. So don't think that I did not see the common factor of 5x plus 3. Somebody suggested that. What do we do after that? After that, we take the common factor. You can put anyone in any of the brackets. It's normal, it's fine. It's multiplication. The order in which we multiply does not affect the result. So if you want to put the 5x plus 3 first, you may. And if you want to put the 3xy plus 2 first, you may. That's okay. But I choose to put the common factor first, because when I factorize, I put the common factor first. So that's it. 5x plus 3, and then 3xy plus 2. Nice. What do I have next? (12ab plus 8a minus 9b squared minus 6b. I think it's gone into the glare. Let me go to the side and see if I will be able to see it. I think it's gone into the glare. I'm going to put it down. 12ab plus 8a minus 9b squared minus 6b. Yes, students. As I promised, I'm going to work every single one of them out because I'm not going to wait on you this evening because you know how it goes already, that we are some distance behind. All right, so I'm looking. Exactly. So I see some correct answers going right up into the chat. All right, so let us go to this one. What's common in the first two? What's common in the first two? Can't see. I'm blocking it. Yes, I was blocking it. It's all the way over there now. What's common in the first? Yes, I see that. First A is the common factor. 4A, sorry. So in 12 and 8, we have a common factor. And then we have the A is also common, as you can see present in both. A goes there. Then what do we do? 4A into 12A will give us 3A. Is that right? Come on, students, give me some correction on that. Should it be 3A? I don't want to be up here doing the wrong thing and don't want to save me, from myself. 4A is common. When I divide, what will be the result? When I say 4A into 12AB, what will be the result? I'm going to give just 2 seconds more to see the answer. Alright, so let's take this out. So let's do it. 4 into 12 is 3. The A will cancel the A and nothing to cancel the B, it goes back. Then 4 into 8 is 2. And then the A will cancel with the A and then you close. When you go to the second pair, yes. Okay. When you go to the second pair, it has to begin with the sign that we have here, a negative sign. So what do we say? A negative. What's common in 9 and 6? Of course, we can just look at it as on a whole, but we can take the coefficients first, then we can see what's common there. 3B is common. So 3 will go into 9 and 6 without leaving a remainder, and this is the largest such number. B is common in B squared and B. There you go. And then we do our brackets. So 3 into 9, that's 3. B into B squared is B. Negative into negative is positive. I almost put negative. Yes, you have to do, when you're dividing, you have to give the sign consideration. So give consideration to the sign also. So we say what? Negative into negative is positive. 3 into 6 is 2. And the B will cancel the B, and that's all there is to it. Of course, we are at your fun time. So we can say what? 3B plus 2, 4A minus 3. Now students, I know how some students are. Yes, some students imagine that they can outwit me. And they believe that if I give them instruction, they don't need to follow. They think that they can do their own thing. That's nice, man. That's very nice. All right. Now, what I'm saying is this. When you are factorizing, to the best of your knowledge, do it the right way. Now, sometimes when you are factorizing, you might find the contents of the 2 brackets that we should have here, they are different. If they are different, then you examine why it is different and you make the necessary adjustment. Please do not force the 2 brackets to have the same value. Else, you are going to be sorry when you are going to be doing their what? Trinomials. And you get to the twisters. Because they can really twist. Alright, so let's go. Another one. I'm going to put it right down here. I think you can see it because you can see the bottom of the board. So, of course, yes, you may. So, I'm going to put that one down there. And that one is... I cannot find it. Yes, 4a squared minus 2a. 4a squared minus 2a. 2a what? 12a squared minus 2ab, yes. Minus again 2a plus b. That's nice. So what do? We look for the common factor. What is common in 4a squared and the negative 2ab? We're looking for the common one. Okay. So the person who does not get why the answer is written like that, I'm going to solve a problem. I'm going to look, sir, 3b and not 3. Thank you very much for this one. Thank you very much. So I'm going to look for your answer in a minute. The person who do not understand why the answer was written like that is written like that. Were you here Thursday or Sunday? Not Sunday, it's Monday. Yes, yeah. Were you here, not on those days. Were you here Monday? So Monday is the day that I'm targeting. Thank you very much for another person saying it's 3b and not 3. Thank you very much. All right, let's continue. So let's continue. What do we have here? We have common 2a is common. And then what? 2 into 4 is 2. And a into a squared is a. Of course, we have 2a. We'll cancel with the 2a here and leave the b. We need to begin with the same sign that begins this. We need to begin with the same sign that begins the second pair, so that's a negative. And when we look here, we cannot see anything. Sorry, we cannot see anything that is, yes, we cannot see anything that is a common factor. So we will use 1. 1 will be our common factor. So let's go. 1 is our common factor. And you know that 1 divided into anything is the same thing. So you're going to have your 2a going back. Not only that, but negative into positive is negative. And then you're going to have your b right there. So it's going to be a negative 1. And negative into negative is positive, so you have that positive 2a. Then negative into positive is negative, so you have that negative b. And of course, there's no cooking. So we have what? 2a minus b in one bracket. I have to be careful now, I'm not to be on my p's and q's. 2a minus 1, right? Because I'll be thrown out of this class if I do not write the correct thing. Alright, so there you go. Students, I'm not going to, you know that I'm not going to stick with this on the board forever. The reason being is that you have everything in your instructional manual. Right, so let's go. Oh, that's a disaster. Alright, so let's go, students. Alright, so let us address a question. I'm going to address a question that So I'm going to address something that I see, a question that I see on the board. So what I'm going to do, I think that if I write it here, you will see. Alright, to understand how I write the answer like that, we have to go all the way back to your basic factorization. So if you are factorizing AB plus AC, let me see if that is out of the light and you can see that. Yes, AB plus AC, you sure you can see that, right? No problem. So we have AB plus AC. Right. We have AB plus AC. What's the common factor? A is the common factor. A will cancel with A and give you B. And A will cancel with A and give you C. So that's what it is like. Now we're going to take the same AB plus AC. And of course, we're going to have A, B plus C. But in this case, I'm going to write it with the intermediate step. So there's an intermediate step, which we divide each of the term by the highest common factor. So AB, and then that's going to be 2 prompt. A, B plus C. So there's an intermediate step. So the intermediate step goes like this. It goes like this. When you're factorizing AB plus AC, you take the highest common factor. And after you take the highest common factor, what do? You divide each of the term by the highest common factor. That's what you do. So you take out the highest common factor and you divide each of the term by the highest common factor. Let me write it again. Same AB plus C. What is the common factor of A, B, and AC? A. And what do? Divide each of the term by the highest common factor. That's what you do. Then what will happen? The A will cancel the A cancels the A there. All that is left is the B and the C. So that is why you do it. So now I'm going to go to one of these. I'm going to go to one of these. 4A, 3B plus 2 minus 3B plus 2. So what are we going to do? The very same thing. When we get to this stage, we do the very same thing. Let us go 4A, 3B plus 2 minus 3B plus 2. What do? We take the highest common factor. What is the highest common factor? 3B plus 2 is the highest common factor. So we take the highest common factor as 3B plus 2. That's the highest common factor, 3B plus 2. And what do we do with that? We divide each of the term by the highest common factor. 3B plus 2, 3B plus 2. So we divide each of the terms. We divide each of the terms by the highest common factor. What will happen? This will cancel with this, and this will cancel with this. So the highest common factor, we took that out already as 3B plus 2. And what's left in the bracket? 4A minus 3B. 4A minus 3B. But some students put anyone in any of the pairs of the brackets. Students, you do not have to spend a million years attempting to understand mathematics, and it's not hard. Once you leave the foundation, you are off. Yes, once you leave the foundation, problems and crosses for you. You have to stick with your foundation. Yes, you have to stick with your foundation. I'm seeing some answers going up. Yes, you have to stick with your foundation. If you do not stick with your foundation, you're going to have difficulties, students. So you have to be a fundamentalist. So if you're factorizing, you have to understand the fundamentals of factorization. So let's go. So we had some to do And I'm going to do them now. I think that, let me see if it is one of this is there. I think it is there. I think it's in the new manual. I don't have it in the old manual. Showing you how you arrive at that. Students, if you don't have your manuals, you will still learn, but you can never get the fullness and the all. Believe me. Yes, believe me what I say. If you don't have your manuals, you will not get the fullness and the all. Let me see if it is inside there. Turn around. Yes, it is there, but we didn't show the cancelling out or the striking out. But it is there. Showing you how we write it down like that. But I know that quite a few of the students do not have your manuals as yet. Students, you see, we are living in a reactive society. You see, if you are so reactive, look at the society that we live in, and you will see exactly what is going to happen to you. Yes, we live in a reactive society. And if you are reactive, use this society that we live in as a model, and you will see what exactly is going to be the same thing. You have an examination to do, and you know that you have resources at your hand. You know that you have you don't have to pay for the class because it's just going to be free on TikTok. Make use of the resources, because you're going to fall short. But you think you're going to fall short yet? Wait until when you're going to practice for the multiple choice exam. So you think you can hopscotch certain things. No, students, you cannot hopscotch your resources. But I'm not forcing you. If you want to continue, continue without it. But when you get down to the real nigger, what do you think I'm going to do? You think I'm going to come onto the board and write out the whole examination paper on the board? No, you have the exam. So when I come to practice for the exam, I say, students, look inside of your in your question book. And I hold up the book and show you. And say, this is the exam that we are going to practice this evening. And I just tell you that we are going to practice January 2025. We're going to practice May 2022. And you have it in your resources because the resources comes with all of these things. But what? No. No problem. When you get to it, when you get right out to it, that is when it's going to be of the greatest importance, closer to the examination, and that is I have students, I have all of the manuals. I don't want to speak extensively on them now because I want to continue to solve the problems. Right. So, I'll speak about it after the class, or you can send me a message in TikTok. So you send me a message request, I will respond to it. The reason why I didn't respond to the next one is because I was supposed to send a recording of a class that did not happen. So I couldn't send a recording of a class that did not happen. So that's why we have that difficulty. So let me continue factorizing the ones that you should have done. Come on, how come I cannot? Yeah, I know it's supposed to be right over here. No problem. Let's go. Maybe I don't do them in order, students, because I want to have the space to do them, because I don't want to go across the board twice just to do 4 problems. So let's go. Number 1. I'm going to put it a little bit lower. Number 1. I'm going to be doing just the odd numbers from your homework section. So don't worry, I'll tell you about it at the appropriate time. So number 1. I think it's MN. soon as you see this problem, you should recognize, yes, as soon as you see this problem, you should recognize that it is done partially for you already. No, we cannot go on the meet. We cannot go on the meet now. But if you wish, let me see. If I see you in the box, I will invite you. If I don't, then you know I can't do it, and I don't see you. So what you'd have to do, you have to request to come into, come into the TikTok, make a request for the TikTok and I'll let you in. But for the Google Meet, I cannot go there because I use the same camera for the YouTube, for the Google Meet. Students are still not hearing? Okay, this one is freezing sometimes. It's delayed. All right. Okay, so let's continue with this. What do we say? Of course, this one is done partially for you already. Alright, so because it's done partially, all we have to do is take the common factor u squared plus v squared, and in the other bracket we have what? mn minus pq. And we are done. So we are finished with that one. So I'm going to put another one up there now. But I'm not going to put number 3, I'm going to put number 5. Here. Number 5.
Well, I'll think that's
yes, say x squared, y squared.
She's ready to marry. Look at her sister is a bad business. She's not material. Look at what she did to her own sister.
Okay. I'm hearing. You don't have anything to say? I think that you said that I should. Yes,
I'm not hearing you properly.
Okay, but I'm hearing you 100%.
Yes.
I'm hearing you so clear, like you're just standing right beside me.
And I'm not seeing the board properly neither. I don't know if it's the light or something.
Are you seeing the one that I written right here?
No, I'm not seeing it properly because I know I don't start right what you've written down.
Oh. So do we have a difficulty with a total difficulty with the board?
It's like something shining, light or some shining in it.
Yeah, but I'm looking at the screen. Well, I'm not looking at it now. But what I've done is I've written away from the shining light. The shining light should be somewhere in that vicinity. I've written it here. It's still shining?
Shining, same way, yes.
I was supposed to attempt to...
Write it over the next side.
Okay. Is that better?
No, write it over the next side. Yeah, see.
Okay. And what I've done, I've changed the lighting. Is it any better now?
No.
Okay, write it over the next side. Oh, no problem.
Right. Yes, write it over the next side.
Do you see this now?
The X2. The board have a shiny thing like, I don't know what is it, but something shining in it.
Okay. It's a light. Is it light?
Glistening.
Shining in it.
X2. I'm not seeing it properly.
Are you seeing it any better now?
No better. Put the laptop closer and let me see if I can see it.
It's a desktop that I'm using.
Oh.
There's something critical you need to know about the American food system. It affects all of our lives and has been
It's too.
Okay. Alright. What I've done, I've taken a device, an additional device, and I'm looking at it at the moment. And it's very clear. There's a light right here. I can see the light. Right, the light is right there. Right where I put that hand. And then, yes, the light is somewhere here. And then the writing is here. And I'm looking at...
So can I use a brighter marker?
Well, we could probably try for that. But, of course, this marker is a new marker, but it's not the typical marker that I use. Is this any better? No, I don't think so, because they look pretty much to be the same brightness to me.
When I say brighter, you don't have red or something?
Red is not brighter, for sure. The brightest marker is black and purple, and I don't have purple. So right behind black is purple.
Okay.
So those are the two brightest, black and purple are the two brightest markers. Now, let me, for the students who are the other students, some students they are seeing, so the other students say they are seeing, one says perfectly fine. So one says the left side is not 100%, but the right side is okay. So the students are actually seeing. So it's not the board. Not in this region. In this region we know that it is bad. But not in this region. The other students are seeing quite fine. They don't seem to be having any difficulty with that. Okay. Alright, let me suggest. Okay, what I'm going to suggest for you to do, go to YouTube and log on to YouTube. This is going to be significantly delayed in comparison to TikTok. But the board does not have the glare in it. Because I'm using another camera, a different camera, that does not have that glare. So you should be able to see.
Okay.
Although we will not be able to speak like that, but you can write and I see it in the chat. So go over to YouTube, we'll have a delay there, but the board will be clearer because we don't have the bright glare over there. Okay. Alright, so let us continue with this one. Oh, that one right there. What do we say? What's common in these two? That is the link for Google Meet, but if I'm not having any difficulty, I don't go into it. They say somebody was talking to me about well, I'm going to try to do that, put it in the bio. But some students saying that if I put it this place or that place, it will not go across. No, you cannot type it now, because we don't use it unless we are having difficulty here. Students, I don't use the Google Meet unless we are having difficulty here. Okay, so let's continue. What's common in these two? We can clearly see that the first two, what's common? We have x squared, y squared, and we have x, y, z. So the x, y is common. X, y is common. And what do we say? X into x squared is x, and y into y squared is y. What next? xy into xyz. The xy will cancel the xy, only the z will remain. Then what? Plus. What's common in x, y, z and just z squared? We can see that x, y, z and z squared. The only thing that is common is the z. There's no x, y in this one. So the only thing that is common is the z. Then of course, do not forget that we are with the second pair. So we are with the second pair, what do we say? We have the second pair, what do we say? Z into x, y, z. The z will cancel the z, all will be left is the x, y. And finally, z into z squared is z. Of course, you can see for those two we have what common? X, y plus z is the common. As you can see, it's present in both. And then of course, you'll see xy plus z right there. xy plus z. And of course, some students may write it as xy plus z all squared. Now, that's the number 5. We are going to go to the number 3. The number 3 is a little bit more troublesome. But let's go. I'm seeing the thing flipped around the other way. So when I look at the screen, sometimes I'm at the wrong place. So let's go. Number 3. UT plus WV plus WT plus UV. So it is UT plus WV plus WT plus UV. And of course, what do you see there? No, I'm going to be on I'm not going to be going to Google Meet unless I have some difficulty. So the classes are on YouTube and TikTok at the moment. All right, so let's go. Now, UT plus UV plus WT plus WV. What do we make of that? Because if you try to put these together, you will not get any common factor. You don't get any common factor with these two, and you do not have any common factor with these two. So what I do is rearrange them. So I use UT plus UV plus WT plus WV. So I rearrange them. Let me see if that is visible. No. The bright light is on the first part, so I'll have to drop that down lower. Let me see. Okay. So I'm going to write it over. So we have UT plus WV plus WT plus UV. So it's UT plus WV plus WT plus U. So yes, that's it. That's the problem. What are we going to do? Yes, we're going to factorize that. But we'll have to rearrange it, because we don't have any common factor here. Well, this one is number 3. We don't have any common factor here, so we'll just do this. UT plus UV plus WT plus WV, like that. So we rearrange them because, not because of just because, but we rearrange them in order, yes, we rearrange them in order that we will have common factors in the pairs. Yes, so we can have the common factor in the pairs. So let's go. What do we say? Apart from nothing. Common factor now. Of course, this one is easy after this because we can see the u as the common factor, then the t plus the v. And for this one, we can see the w. Do not forget the sign that should go there. And we see the t plus the v. So that's easy to factorize. So we're going to have t plus v along with u plus w. And that's all there is to it. And number 7. If we can get it in here, that would be nice. That one, all it needed was to be rearranged, and then after rearranging it, it turns out to be great. So number 7, we have 4ax plus 6ay minus 4bx minus 6by. So what do we say? Let's go. What's common in these two? I know that by now you should be able to just pick out a common factor. I'm doubtful very much that you're the only one that is delayed, if there's a delay. So we have common to 4 and 6, we have 2. And of course we're going to have a. 4ax, 6ay. Common to 4 and 6 is 2, and of course ax and ay, a is common. Then 2 into 4 is 2. The a will cancel with the a, and we just have x, plus 2 into 6 is 3. The a will cancel with the a, and we just have y. Then we must begin with the negative, so we're going to begin a negative there. And anything else is common? Apart from the b that is common, as you can see, the b's are common. 4, 6. So 2 will be able to go into 4 and 6 without a remainder. And then we'll have the b there. Then what do we say? 2 into 4 is 2. The b's will cancel. X remains. Negative into negative is positive. Yes. Negative into negative is positive. And then 2 into 6 is 3. The b's will cancel and we will have the y left. Right. So I'm going to write it at the side because it's going to be more convenient. So what do we say? The common factor is 2x plus 3y. 2x plus 3y. And then we're going to have what? 2a minus 2b. And that is the completion of the demonstration of factorization by grouping. Yes. And then what do we do after that? Let's go. Of course, I will not spend the entire evening waiting for you to write that. Of course, almost everything that I put on the board is written in your instructional manual and so on. Now we're going to be going into the difference of two squares. The difference of two squares. I'm forgetting that I can't write there. The difference of two squares. The difference of two squares, and some people say the difference between two squares. That's another good way to look at it. The difference between two squares. Now students, if you're going to factorize a difference of two squares, it would be excellent if you know where we are coming from. Anything in mathematics, anything in medical science, anything in sociology, in psychology, anything about anything, the best way is to understand where it is coming from. So if you see where it is coming from, then it would be excellent for you, right? And the difference of two squares originate with an expression that looks like this. A plus B to multiply by A minus B. That's where it is from. And students, every day I'll tell you the same thing. If you forget anything that you learned from we started, you are going to have difficulty, because everything that we are going to do is somehow dependent on something that we have done before. And you want to be sure of everything. Make sure that you follow me, especially on the question of factorization. But let's take a look at the difference of two squares. It begins with an expression that looks like that. And you know your algebra, because we know that when we have something like that, let's write that like an A. We have what? A times A. So A multiplied by A, that will give you A squared. Then A multiplied by negative B. And I will discover those students who have been paying attention from the beginning. A multiplied by negative B will give you a negative AB. Then we go to the B's. B times A. Students, you know that AB and BA are the same terms. So plus B times plus A is going to give us AB again, if we put them in alphabetical order. And then finally, what do we say? B multiplied by a negative B, and that will give us what? A negative B times a B, negative B squared. Very nice. Now, I see something inside here that the students are familiar with. They are also familiar with a particular term that I use in reference to them. So let me give you a few seconds to answer this question. Students, answer this question, please. These two terms, what did I call terms that exist like these? I said that a week ago or less. What did I call these terms when they look like these? What did I call them? No answer yet? What did I call those when they look like that? Anybody remember? See, I'm sending an invite for you to come in and tell me, but some people not accepting them. No problem. As long as you were invited. What did I call terms that exist like these? The same? No. Look at them. What did I say about them? I'm giving you a few seconds. Since you're not ready, but at least when you hear it, you can say, yes. You left out one part of the term. You say additive. You say additive. So you left out part of it. What should it be?
Factors.
No, these. Turbulent exist like this. We discussed something about them last week. Somebody have a part of it right
No,
now?
I wasn't on it last week.
Okay. Let me see the person give the answer. Right, they are additive inverses. Yes. So they are additive inverses.
Additive inverses.
Yes, because when you add them, they have a cancelling effect on each other. So this one is a positive AB and that one is a negative AB. When you add them, the result is 0. So in the case of addition, they will eliminate each other from the expression. So the expression will have this left. A squared minus B squared. And that is your difference of two squares. Now, in reference to your difference of two squares, you don't have to go back to the intermediate step and do calculation and all of that. You just have to make use of the form. So if you see A plus B with A minus B, then you know that it will expand to give you A squared minus B squared. That's what it will give. So suppose for argument's sake you see this then. K plus J, K minus J. What would you write down for the answer for that? Because that's not how you use of the form. A plus B, A minus B give you A squared minus B squared. Then what will K plus J, K minus J give? Come on, student, you must be able to tell. That cannot be so hard. You have to mute your microphone because we are hearing you on this side and background noise. Okay. Alright. No problem. K squared minus J squared. If you see this, U minus V with U plus V, what is here? Okay. You are in and your microphone is not muted. Remember now that everything is amplified. So any sound that is in your background will be amplified and sent to us. So if you, yes, so unless you're saying something, you should mute your microphone. Thanks. All right, so let's go. If you have this, what will be the result? No one will respond. Come on, you can't miss out on that. U squared minus V squared. Students, you have to be able to just leave this right here where it is. If you are stuck here, then you will not be able to factorize the difference of two squares. If you see that A plus B, A minus B is A squared minus B squared, and you cannot see that K plus J, K minus J, multiplying together will give you K squared minus J squared, then we cannot move on to the difference of two squares. And well, unless you don't wish to answer, which I will just answer for myself and move merrily along. So here's another one. If you have L plus M in one bracket and L minus M in the other, what will the result be? There. What will the result of that be? L squared minus M squared. No problem. Okay, so let us take it from the other side. If you have y squared minus z squared, how would you put those in brackets? Okay, I don't know why your answer took so long to come across. Maybe there's a great delay in the system. No problem though. Alright, let me see what you say about that one. The y squared minus the z squared. If you're going to put those in the brackets, how would you put that? Okay. Well, we will have what? If that is the case, all right. What about this one? Pretty much the same thing. It's just that you can put it put it the other way around. H minus I, H plus I. Right, you could put the minus in the first bracket or in the second bracket, depending. But make sure that you pay attention to how we arrive at the difference of two squares from its original form, its original expression, the expression that gave rise to it. So it did not just come from outer space. Right, so it did not write h plus k. We could put any one of them first. Right, as long as we have them in different brackets. Now, let us continue with this. Let us continue with this. Suppose I give you this. I'm gonna wait on your answer on this occasion. Let's go. I hope I'm not writing too high. So 9r squared minus 49 p squared. How would we write these in the brackets? 9r squared minus 49p squared. How would we write that in the brackets? Students, the factorization of a difference of two squares is nothing more than following a particular pattern. Right, there's nothing more to it than following a particular pattern. That's a nice way to look at it. But I think that by writing that as your answer, you are neglecting something very important. Right, so you are neglecting the fact that we have a 9 here and a 49 there. Right, so that's the difference of two squares. I see where you would have dissolved the R and the P, but you need to dissolve the numbers also. Because the R that you have there, well, you could say that the R squared is the square of R, and the P squared is the square of P. So you have to do this in such a way that you have what? Nine is the square of 3, so that's going to be 3R. Plus 49 is the square of 7. So it will be like that. And next one will be 3R minus 7P. Do not forget that it's not just the P and the R that are squared, but the numbers are squared also. And I'm going to do another one before we turn you over to the board. What do we say about this one? This one? No, this one is not too high. I think that. So it's 169x squared minus 225. So I'm going to write that over. What will go in the brackets now? Okay, what I'll do, I close this portion of it, and then, of course, so sorry because some of the students cannot see because of the guests, so I'm going to remove that one. You can ask to be taken inside of this chat again if needs arise, but because other students are being impeded, I'm just going to have to close it. Embed. Okay. The other one is 169x squared. I think that you should be able to see that now. So let's go. Let me see if the answers are on the board. 13x plus 15, 13x minus 15, exactly. Students, do not forget that you have to square the number. You found the square root of the 13, but you did not find the square root of 225. So, of course, it will be 13x plus 15, 13x minus 15. So, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to put the entire exercise on the board, and you're going to work out every single one of them. Let's go. Don't worry about it in your instructional manual, because it's in the instructional manual, but I'd prefer if you look at the board. Because the handwriting form is going to be better. So, ready? I'm going to write 6 over there. So you may begin with those. $225 is not a square number? When since? Or maybe you're saying we did not take the square root of 225. Yes, the square root of 225 is 15. Finally, so make light work of those. Difference of two squares, you're going to be factorizing them. Let's go. I'm not going to wait until we're finished with all of them, so I'm going to be putting them on the board. Especially that we have a delay, you know that I'm not going to stay. That one is nice, but you need to put the plus one there also. So you have a 5AB minus 4CD. What about the 5AB plus 4CD? Oh, you're all the way down here. But this one, everyone should get it right. What goes in the brackets? Maybe that one scrolled off the screen before I saw it. So this one is easy. X minus y. I'm going to put the minus sometimes first. X plus y. This one, maybe that one scroll off the screen. I'm going to be looking for it again. So it's 6p plus 7q, 6p minus 7q. So for the difference of two squares, these numbers are the squares. So we're going to look at it and say, what do we square to give 36? And what do we square to give p squared? So 36 is 6 squared and p squared is the square of p. So that means the number is going to be 6p. Over here, what number do we square to give 49? So that is 7. We square 7 to give 49. And what do we square to give q squared? Is q. So it's going to be 7q. So it's going to be 6p plus 7q, 6p minus 7q. Alright, so for this one, what do we square to give 81? What do we square and the result is 81? So that is 9. And what do we square and the result is 1? That is 1. So 1 is the square of 1, 81 is the square of 9, and t squared is the square of t. So we're going to have what? 9t plus 1, 9t minus 1. Here, somebody made a suggestion for that one already, so I'm not going to hesitate. So, what do we square to give 25? That's 5. So you're going to have the 5ab. What do we square to give 16? That's 4. Minus 4cd. So we'll have 5ab plus 4cd. Down here, what do we say? What do we square to give 1? What do we square to give 4t squared? I see some students gone way ahead. There's no problem with that. 1 plus 2t, exactly. So the square root of 4 will go. So it's 1 plus 2t. 1 minus 2t. And students, don't play with the videos that we're going to put on TikTok on factorization. We're going to put those up there very soon. As soon as I'm finished with the indices, which is I think I have a last set of 5, and I might put those up tonight. And then when those go through in the way that I imagine, then I'm going to put the factorization up there. So you cannot come to class and say you cannot factorize, because the full detail of factorization is going to be in every single one of them. And of course, we're going to have tutorials. Okay, so let's go over here. What do you make of this? Let me see what you make of that. I see somebody put a -8 and -10. The person who put the -10, it means that you are ready to go, because you would want to put a -10. You would begin with a -10 because the answer here, what do we call it? The answer is negative. So one of those terms is negative. Yes, but I don't see the other one. So you are leaving it in the dark for me to finish. So let's go still. So this is equal to, put that in the brackets. What do we have? You put a negative and a negative. So you put a -10 and you put a -8L. So you put a -10 and a -8L. Let's go. -10 with a -8L. That's fine. So what would you put in the next bracket? You put a +10. So you put a +10. Why? Because you want a negative 100 here. Because you need a -100 here, you have to have a negative times a positive. They have to have different signs. So the signs must be different. So if you have a -100 here, the signs of the tens that you're going to use here must be different. What about the 8L? The 8L is +64L squared when you put it together. So what will be the next one? The next one will have to be a -8L. Yes, because in order for you to get a +64, these two numbers must have the same sign. So these must be a negative and a negative. Or, if you prefer, you could write it like this. 10, let me write it over. The -10 plus 8L, and you could have the 10 plus 8L. This marker is gone. You could have it like that. Yes, students. So as you notice, you have a -100 there. So for you to get a -100, what you will place in the brackets for the two tens, two occurrences of 10, they must have different signs. Because that's the only way that you're going to get a -100. You need a +64. So the 8 must be of the same sign. So if you put a -8L in the first bracket, you'd have to put a -8L in the next one. Because negative times negative is positive. The only way that you'll get the +64L squared is if the 8L's have the same sign. Of course, they don't have to be both negatives. As you see, the one above, they could still be both positive. Both positives are correct. So if you write it like that, or in the second case, then your answers will both be correct. And I've seen this one, the answer for this one already. What do you square and the result is 9? What do you square and the result is 121? Alright, so that will be, that's nice, that will be what? 3A plus 11B, and there's a code in here, 3A minus 11B. Yes, we have a code somewhere here. We have 3x plus 4b, and we have that without the difference of two squares. So you know that some coding is going on. Yes, some coding is going on, yes, for sure. Because I don't see a difference of two squares here, yet still I'm seeing difference of two square factors. I'm not saying that it's not right, but you cannot show the factors of a difference of two squares without the difference of two squares. I need to see the difference of two squares. And if you are coding, it will catch up with you. Yes. If you are coding, it will catch up with you. Remember that you have a real examination to do, one in which you cannot code. Okay, so do that and let me know what you make of it. Okay. Now, let me see if anybody make an attempt on it. Now, students, when you're doing CXC and you're doing real life mathematics and you're required to factorize an expression might be given to you like this. This is not a difference of two squares. But the first thing that you should recognize in an expression if there is a common factor. Right, so, right, because guess what? You will not know what to do next because you left the foundation. And you know that the fundamentals of factorization is your common factor. So you see, you probably didn't look for this because you're looking at a difference of two squares. You're looking for a difference of two squares. Which, of course, this, in the form that it is given in, is not a difference of two squares. But if you are factorizing, you can see that there's a common factor. So let's go. Is there a common factor? Yes, there is. What's the common factor? 3 can go into 27 and 48 without a remainder, so you have a common factor of 3 there. 3 into 27 is what? I think that I should do it there and then over here. So let me do it here. So 3 will go into your 27 and your 48 without a remainder. So 3 into 27 is 9, so you're going to have a 9x squared. Minus 3 into 48 is 16, so you're going to have a 16b squared. Because of that, now you have your difference of two squares. Maybe this bracket is too small. Yes, now you have a difference of two squares. Where is the difference of two squares? The 9x squared with the minus 16b squared. Students, the examiners might do something like that, where they say factorize completely. And, of course, there's a common factor. You take out the common factor, and if they take out the common factor, there's a difference of two squares there. So, you can now go to the difference of two squares. This is the 9x squared minus 16x squared. What do we square to give 9? 3. What do we square to give 16? 4. And of course, you know the x squared is from x and the b squared is from your b. So, for this is in the 3 and for this is the 4. So, 3x plus 4b, 3x minus 4b. Students, don't believe that you are slow in your head when some students jump all the way over it. You hear? Just do it in your own stride. Yes, that's what I mean. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to go into your tutorial and you're going to see a problem like that. Now, student, when I say a problem like that, I do not mean that it looks like that exactly. But in terms of the concept, in terms of the idea, in terms of the principle, it's the same problem. But its appearance can look, what would we say now? Not diametrically different, but some great distance away in terms of its appearance. Alright, this is one that might not so bad in I'm taking it from your tutorial so you can get to see what we mean. This one, 3x squared minus 27. Of course, if you have 3x squared minus 27, you can see the common factor of the 3 and the 27. So you take out the common factor of 3, and what do you get? X squared minus 9. And of course, what do you notice there? That you have your difference of two squares. So your difference of two squares will be what? What do you square to give x squared? What do you square to give 9? So it's x plus 3, x minus 3. So that's one. Quite different in appearance, but in terms of the concept, conceptually, it's the same problem. So I'm going to look for another one. I saw one that I'm very interested in. Look at this one now. P cubed minus P. That one is nice. What do you say about that one? Common in that one is what? P is common. P, let me write it under, because I think that if I write it under, it would be better. P is common. P into P cubed is P squared. P into P, anything divided by itself is 1. So you have now the P squared minus 1, and that's a difference of 2 squares. P squared minus 1, difference of 2 squares. So what will you have? What do you square to give P squared? That's P. What do you square to give a 1? That's 1. So it's going to be P plus 1, P minus 1. The concept is the same, where the expression is given to you, not a difference of 2 squares, but there's a common factor that you can take. After taking out the common factor, you see the difference of 2 squares, and you factorize, and you are done. So, right, we'll stop at the difference of 2 squares for this evening. We should have been in trinomials already, but that is should have. We'll do what's necessary, and we'll continue. Now, on Sunday, you know that you're going to have tutorials, problem-solving session. Now, students, let me explain something to you about this factorization topic. For factorization, you know that your factorization topic begins on page 15. It begins on page 15 of your new manual. Factorization begins on page 15 of your new manual. It ends, I think it's on page 25. No, it ends on page 19. No, what's on page 19? On page 19, you have your homework. Now, the homework that you see there is the homework for everything. Right? So, you have, for the homework exercise, you see homework 4. Of course, factorization is topic number 4. So, you see homework 4. In homework 4, it says, factorize the following expressions. Factorize the following expressions. Those are basic factorization. I expect to see you have those by Sunday. You should work out all of those and get them right. Without coding, because I see code is inside here. Alright. Alright, so let's continue. Then you see quadratic expression. Of course, for the first exercise, I did 3 of them already. I did the odd numbers in class, so you should do the even numbers. Homework exercise 4, so it's homework 4, and you're looking at exercise 1. So for exercise 1, I did number 1, number 3, and number 5. So for your homework, you're going to do numbers 2, 4, and 6. What a little bit of homework. Now, students, you have your tutorial book. When you're going to, and it's 2 tutorial books you have, so it's not a little bit of work, it's a lot. Alright, so after that you go to quadratic expression. What do you say about quadratic expression? Factorization by grouping. So I did 4 of those, and of course you can recognize the 4 that I've done in class, which is usually the odd numbers. So I've done the odd numbers, you're going to do the even numbers. And when we get to class on Sunday, this is going to surely finish in less than an hour. And I'm not going to go to the second part because I did not do the perfect square as yet. Nor the trinomial. So I will go back to my tutorial book and we will have some fun. Concerning the instructional manuals and other books that I might have that you'll find useful, please send me a message on TikTok. But let me tell you, we have the books here available. We have 7 instructional manuals. We have 2 sets of tutorials. The tutorials are 4 books. Each pair, a question and an answer, question and answer. Then we have a final examination preparation resources. The paper 1 practice is 1 book. The paper 2 solution is 2 books. So in all, the total mathematics resources, all of them come together will cost you $23,000. And that's 14 books. But I see individuals coming inside here to purchase the book that they think that they're going to need immediately. So that can be arranged. And when they come here, I don't say you have to buy the entire set of books because I don't know. So I sell you the books that, especially the ones that we are using now and the next ones that we are moving on to and the ones that we are intending to finish before you leave for the Christmas holiday. Because if you imagine that you're going to have a lot of fun, then you will not have a lot of fun when the result come out. So, yes, for the entire